How much ever you claim to love yourself, the biggest disrespect that you can do to yourself is when you're afraid to admit that you struggle with something, and more so if you're embarrassed of your struggles. And most of us go through battles that's invisible. And when you are embarrassed of your struggles, you are putting yourself down, and you low-key do not like yourself because you've gone through a certain type of struggle, which the world may know or may not know. Your scars is what has made you today. Your struggle is who you are today, which is a reminder of who you used to be and what your life used to be. And it's also a reminder of where you are if you're struggling with something. Your scars that you carry is a testimony of your life, is a testimony of all the tears that you've cried, of all the times that you were a warrior when you had no strength in you. And these are battle scars that you've received just to achieve the life that you have today, the self that you have today, because God knows what you had to go through to be who you are today. God and only you know what you had to achieve to be who you are in life, in self today. And if you're in a phase where you are struggling and you understand your own flaws, because you understand your internal environment will create your outside. And if you're struggling with something today, if you're embarrassed of it, ask yourself, why are you embarrassed of it? If you're somebody who's looking at something objectively and wants a better life just for yourself within first, because that will reflect on your outside, you will stop being embarrassed of your struggles. It's very human to be embarrassed of it because we all want to be big and bad. But we all carry wounds that is invisible. And we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Even if somebody is coming off to be extremely happy, confident, whatever. People who are actually secure and confident, they are the way they are today, but they also appreciate the fact that they had to go through certain phases in their life and they're not embarrassed of it. And that's one thing that's different between a person A and a person B, because a person A and a person B may be in the same level on the physical things, but internally, these people are on two different levels. So where do you stand? And why do you have an imposter syndrome about your own life? Why do you feel bad about what you've been through just because that does not stand out in the society? That's not up to the social norms. Because your struggle is what makes you you. And when you don't abide by that, and when you don't abide by the understanding that your struggle is your own personal story, so nobody can compete with you, with your emotions, with what you've been through, because that's something which is like your DNA. People can have similar struggles as you, but people have different emotions. Human beings are not the same. There's only one you. And at the end of the day, you have to understand that two people may go through the same things, but that does not mean that you need to connect with them in a certain kind of way. There's something called as trauma bonding, and that's when we don't understand why we're connecting with somebody, but somehow the struggles that we don't speak of, the struggles that we are embarrassed of, the struggles that we do not acknowledge, that is mirrored in another person in form of a lover, friend, family. And therefore we start thinking that this is a bond which is precious, but actually it is not precious, because this is something that you've attracted in your life because you are not accepting something about your life. And this person may have it or may not have it. And therefore, subconsciously, you're attracted to this person, thinking, oh my God, we connect. But actually, you don't connect. Just go inward and ask yourself, is this something that you've always wanted within you that you can't seem to achieve? Something that you're insecure about? And therefore, you're purposely going towards this friend, this family, this lover, because they fulfill that need of something that you struggle with. And because you've not put in the work within you, you want to fill it with this person's presence. And therefore you get addicted to this person, because that is something that you've always wanted, something that you've always struggled with, and something you've not put in the work because you're too afraid to come face to face with it, especially when it comes to emotions. And why is that? Because the emotions are too deep to even actualize your struggle. You've been there, I've been there, where we didn't want to look weak because we thought our struggles made us weak. But when you look back now, whatever age you are, whatever life has taught you, I'm talking to those people who have their head on their shoulder, minding their own. If you look back and you understand, I had to go through some things in my life as a man, as a woman. I had to go through this thing. How much have I tried to avoid it, how much ever I tried to be big and bad and not show the world, it manifested in different areas of your life and my life. It manifested in different ways where we had outbursts, where we had triggers, where we had a fight or flight moment, and whatever it may be. And if you are in a place where today you understand that you struggle with something or you have struggled with something and therefore you carry the scars that you carry, you're not embarrassed of it. And what sets you apart is you are okay with having these scars within you, outside or inside, because now it no longer triggers you. Now it no longer makes you feel you're weak. Now you no longer feel like you are a victim. You no longer feel bad about all the past experiences that you've had. And if you ever had to go back in your past, I at least don't want to change nothing about it, how much ever ugly it got. Because the teachings that I have received through my own life struggles is my own. And how much I speak about it is I speak about it. And because I want to teach, and that's another whole ball game. But for you too, if you are somewhere in your life today, there are some teachings that if that hasn't happened or didn't happen, you would have never had the understanding of yourself, of your soul, of your life. And it's you who once ran away from your struggles. You know how it is to be very narcissistic about the struggles that we have and to have an imposter syndrome about the struggles. You are the same person who put yourself down and therefore you put others down who struggled with similar struggles because you didn't respect yourself, because you didn't value yourself, and because you didn't like the scars that showed, that you hid maybe from the world, but when you went back home, you could see it with the naked eye. So you started being so hard on yourself that often you realized you just can't forgive yourself. You are like a tyrant with your own self, and therefore you are the same way with people, or you are a fucking pushover who forgives every Tom, Dick, Harry, and therefore you got fucked over in the bargain. So look back, and if you are somewhere where you are able to see yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, this is my scar, this is what has happened, and this is the testimony of my life, and this is my truth, unapologetically. And that does not mean you have to be big and bad and ugly. You can be big and bad and humble. So at the end of the day, if you see someone else struggling and if you are in a place in your life where you can give somebody the direction, and you can't help people who do not want to be helped. But if you see people who want to be helped and who are struggling with their own struggles, who are embarrassed of it most of all, and who are being hard on their own self, knowingly or unknowingly, because they're struggling with something, talk to them. It's okay to share about your own struggles, because you are in a place where you are out of it, but you are out of your struggle because you went through that struggle. You fought through it and you have the scars for it. So wear it as a badge of honor. And don't be cocky with it, but spread your wisdom. Spread what you went through, because in this world, there's a lot of people around us, but you know and I know that we are all lonely. We are all filled with people, but we all are in our own bubble. And if you're not in our own bubble and by our own self and being shamed for being loners, we are in herds and herds and herds of people that we don't even like. But because we want to fit in, we are surrounding ourselves with people, places, things, and objects because we want to be accepted by the society. And what the society accepts is what goes, is what flows. And some of us don't like to be in herds. Some of us like to spend time with our own selves. And some of us like quality relationships. And some of us do not feel uncomfortable when there is prolonged years, months, hours of people's absence from our life. Because we are in a place today where we know how it is to go through the worst times of our life and how we had to build a relationship with our own self and what happened with God and us in those times. So now, when we don't have people around us and we just can't imagine being alone for a few days, a few hours, because we're so addicted with these people's presence, because we're dependent. But human beings are meant to be alone, but also surrounded by people. not in a way where you're dependent on them, but because you love and appreciate them. And today the lines are getting very blurry with what's needed, what's wanted, what's dependency, and who's taking advantage of it. It does not amplify our scars in whatever shape or form it may be, thinking, oh, we're alone. Because most of it comes from a place where we feel lonely in a struggle, we feel alone in a struggle, and we feel helpless when you're going through a struggle. And either we talk about it openly or either we don't talk about it openly. And if someone's making a babal out of their struggle and not doing anything to help themselves, and if people are trying to help them, they're not taking active steps towards it, remember, this person is not here to solve his or her issue. This person is only here to complain about his or her issues. There are many people in this life who like to wear their scars openly and make a propaganda about it, but not really feel emotionally about it. We live in a world where the world is chasing clout. We live in a world where people want to compete with you because you carry your scars well and because you look like somebody who's not been through so much in life. But in reality, you know what you've been through, but you're not the one to run your mouth. So there's a whole other side to this as well. There are people who really go through struggles who can't fucking speak on it. And if they can't speak about it, they put their own selves down. And therefore that resonates with multiple people like you and I. So remember, not everybody who is going through a struggle and talking about it is speaking the truth. So see their actions and the energy they carry. There's a whole other side of toxic people who make use of yours and my struggle, and they make a propaganda out of it for the world to watch, and they make your struggles theirs. They talk on your struggles because you don't speak on your struggles. So who the fuck are they to speak on your life when they don't know jack shit about you? Many people just know your name. They don't know the fuck you are. But that's another topic for another fucking day. So when you don't speak on your scars, when you don't speak on your struggles, you're giving people the ammunition to speak on it because they see that you are fucking weak, because you are embarrassed of your struggles. And people in this world, in this devil's playground, like I say, love to kick you when you're down. Remember that. And then pretend like, oh my God, I'm here for you. Men or women. And if you've been there, if I've been there, and if we see that, it's time we start teaching people. And they see that too. Unfortunately, we live in a world right now where many are closeted. Where many have an angel face, men or women, but actual fucking monsters. And many of them speak on you, on your behalf, make you look like the fucking villain, and have everybody's grace and mercy upon them. When actually, they are fucking frauds. So please, if somebody is speaking on you, first the fuck of all, shut them up. And even if that means you have to take the fucking fall, you have to jump on the sword to speak the truth about you, redeem yourself. Speak your truth. Speak on your struggles. What exactly are you doing to get better? Actualizing, accepting is the first thing towards being a better individual. And understand who you're surrounding yourself with, like I always fucking say. And bear in mind, you're speaking on your struggle is because you understand where you are, why you're struggling with it, and what you want to do about it for yourself. You don't have to be answerable to nobody, and nobody has the right to question you, what you're going to do, and make fun of you for your struggles and stuff like that. It's not their fucking place, and you better let them know that. And when you acknowledge that, when you own your struggles, nobody can say shit to you because you already know you're struggling with it. The thing is, are you putting in the work to be a better version of you? And to be a better version of you, please understand, analyze your internal environment and your external fucking environment. And cut what is not needed. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. At the end of the day, if you let people go, if you have to let some shit go within you, let it go. Because we all have struggles. It's what we do about it. You turned your tragedy into beautiful scars today. Just remember that your scars is your testimony. Start having empathy towards your own self. Start being nicer to your own self. Start learning to forgive your own self. How easy and naive and gullible and forgiving you are with people who don't fucking deserve it. Start doing that with your own self. For all the scars that you have today, revisit it. for everything that you've ignored, that you're not paying attention to, how would you feel that somebody that you love did not pay attention to you when you're desperate? Because scars is nothing but a wound that has intensified because you have not given it the attention and the healing that it's needed. And if your scar that you carry is reminding you of the wound that is healing or that has healed, wear it as a badge of honor. So be proud, and your scar will remind you always of God's grace in you that was shown, that is being shown, and that will always be shown. Have faith and just be good people. And don't be embarrassed of who you are today, because your struggle is what makes you you. Your past is what's made you today.